Another interesting thing that's happened in the break is that developments happened. As you see, no other test sessions are planned for this season. The development packs have been added to the bike. So I believe engine power is much better, control fluid delivery is the same. Same for stability testing, handlings maybe slightly better, fuel consumption is still high. But as you can see, the Sniper's bike is now mid-pack, as the Husqvarna and Aspar are the bikes to have, and then it's MT Motors MSI, Honda Team Asia, Leopard Racing, and then Sniper's there now. So no longer like near the bottom, now solidly, upper midfield ahead of Bowie Motorsports, KTM. Weird to see them down there. Level Up, Gas Tech 3, Sync 58, MNAV Racing, and CIP Green Power is definitely the bike you do not want. Welcome to Kazakhstan, new venue for the MotoGP calendar. Around this Sokol circuit, as I say it. As it show you that with it, as you get down to third gear. The first corner can take it in second as well if you're making a dive bomb. And then just through the S's at the beginning of the lap here, just alternate between fourth and third. And we get the tight hairpin. I just need on that penalty on the outside of this hairpin. Go down to second or first. And then hard on the pound in a very unusual corner. A double apex right-hander downhill. A bit in second and a bit of a straight. We've got a couple of tight corners. Looking around, what, 150 or 100? Get down to third for the first, but then all the way down to second for the second part, or first. And then again, we've got a tight corner lead onto the back stretch as Husqvarna makes its way by us. We're going to power nice and hard for the long straight here. You can see, you can get a beautiful toe if you get the exit right. And a very high speed right-hander. Reminds me of the corner Paul Ricard, this does. Get down to third. Don't have to necessarily hit the apex, just get on the power hard. And then a couple of tight corners here. Brake a bit early. Make sure you hit the apex there. And then on the power hard in the penultimate corner. Down the second, just ride that curb on the entry and exit. And then the final corner. Make sure you don't get nudged by your opponent. You're going to power nice and hard. As you can see, Callis 8th in practice, 50.1 is the fastest that time. He's on a 50.8, and that was a 54. We can go a bit quicker than that. We won't be menaced by a husky. As it is all changed for qualifying. He turned the sprinklers on overnight. Oh, now you get out of the way. I get it. There you go, Callis then. Finally sent at that time with less than 4 minutes remaining. Let's see. He was around Ogden's time in the first part. Still 1.3. That will do for the moment, but times might be getting quicker. Oi! Leave Callis alone. As there are no improvements in the end, so Ogden at the top. Of course, a British flying in the wet. Now it's got Farley, Callis, and Watley as well. Both of them have bikes making it through the Q2 for the first time this season. Great job from them. Ahead of the Leopards, once again struggling qualifying. With Lunetta, Robosari, De Wilder, Rollstone, Carraro, and then Yamanaka at the back. That's a bit of a shock. As Kaz going out early here, tried to not wait till the last 5 minutes to set a qualifying lap. So we go for Callis then. Looking like a decent lap actually. This will be a 2 minute. It will be 2:06. Nice. Damn it! And that was Kaz's best lap, but it's good enough for the second row fourth. for the number 4. Great qualifying. Has an all Japanese 1-2 Suzuki ahead of Furusato. We've got Fire, the Dutchman, rounding out the top 3 alongside his teammate. And then we're just ahead of Fiori, by far his best qualifying this season as well. And then David Alonso rounding out the second row. Then we got Munoz, Ortoda and Halgado. Zabi rounding out the top 10 ahead of the Italians, Rossi and Nepa. Rudida. In 13th ahead of Ogden and Kelso. Then we got Watley, Esteban. Now, I don't know what happened to Matteo. He was just stuck in the toilet for the whole of the session. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe got a bit of a bug. Who knows? So let's see if cars can pester the front row, heading into the first corner as the lights go out for 7 laps here in Kazakhstan. And he's got a cracking start, much better than Via, and takes over Dutchman's 3rd place slot in the field as his teammate Suzuki still leads to ahead of Furusato. And actually David Alonso's got by as well, up into 4th as well. So poor start for the Dutchman. Brody in 6th, and Algado and Zabi round out the top 8. Or was, until Ortoda and it got by. Actually no, it might have been a crash. There's a crash for Algado. Oh no, the gas guy's having a disastrous start to the year. For another one of those pre-season title favourites who's just not clicking at the moment. As Raider only gets a warning for the incident. Interesting. Maybe not his fault then. As we head onto the long back stretch here. That was sort of a poor exit through there. Very cautious and gentle through the flip. Before then, it's like Furasato's powered his way into the lead ahead of his fellow countryman. And Suzuki not giving up. It's always just Furasato wide. Looks like Alonso could make a move on Canis as well, so the Colombian settling for 4th at the moment. And yeah, Suzuki fighting right back. Oh, we could have a race here. Already still in 6th. Good for the Sync 58 man. We've got Zabi in 7th. Scott Ogden. Despite race day being totally different and qualified. No rain on the horizon today. So the MLAV man in the top 8 for probably the first time this season. Showing that he can do it in the wet or dry around this circuit on the opening lap at least. Great to see. Nice to see MLAV get some solid points. Sync 58 as well. Don't know what's happened to the other parts. So they missed out. Both guys missed out to qualifying too. So we'll see if they can also add to the scoreboard. But it could be a bit of shake-up for the battle for the wooden spoon after this race. Could be a shake-up at the battle at the front as well as Kaz is homing in on the top 2. Second gap behind to Alonso's just dropped the Colombian. Despite having, as you can see, medium front tyre on, soft rear, so you've got to protect the rear tyres a lot round it. But yeah, medium front because of all that heavy braking zones. Oh, Caddis. A bit unsettled there. Also with racers, you can see sunnier, hotter conditions. As for the start having a look back, well, he's trying to make the move on Suzuki, but look at Caddis there. Obviously, his title rival Herding coming behind. The first I was wondering who the heck is that? Well, here comes Caddis as those two battle for the lead by themselves. Caddis round the outside. Trying to take advantage of it. He's got these past Furusato. Suzuki tries to fight back, but the South African takes the lead. On Furusato back down the inside. As Suzuki gets done for track limits. And now he's going round the outside again. Don't know what's gotten into Asvana Rider. But this race has come alive on the second lap then as we head on to the third lap. It's basically tied for the lead between the title rivals, first and second in the championship, first and second on track. Cancelled the fast lap of 52 flat. As they go through the S's, left, right, side by side. That's all a bit wide for Furusato. Caddis takes the lead. You've seen he's not been great into the hairpin until then. Yeah, just prove me wrong. Just prove me wrong, Callis, alright? It seems to lead on the third lap then. Half a second ahead of first Arto. But we've seen how strong that Honda Team Asia bike is in a straight line. Especially with that toe. He's got to think about this long back stretch, does the snipers, man. If not, first Arto just barges his way by anyway. But it's going to give Callis the toe now. So let's see how strong this sniper's bike is with the toe. Honda v Honda here as well. Suzuki in third, Alonso fourth, Via still in fifth, Zabi sixth, Ferrari dropping back now down to seventh. And Ortoda into the top 8, displacing Ogden. So first Arto taking that wider line. Callis taking that tighter line. It's a bit too early though into the right hander. First Arto with lots of confidence. See the approach halfway mark of the race. Ankel getting done for track limits. At least we know what's happened to one of the Leopards, I guess. As Ortoda's got ahead of Faroli as well. I think 58 man dropping down the order now. Of that strong qualifying as Callis as well. Suzuki nudges his way by his first side, does a 52 flat. Just quicker than Callis' second, but Callis did a 52.9 last lap. Really dropped off. As you can see, these top 3 have pulled away from the rest. 2.3 second gap behind to Alonso as Callis wide. Lucky not down. But now it's a 1.4 second gap in front, 1.3 second gap behind. He's in no man's land. He's left himself some work to do in the second half of this race now. He's going to win this one. Sultan back into the top 8. Hello, Faroli. So having a good battle as the Sync 58 and the MLAV riders in it. It's like behind Ortoda. Zabi sitting solid in 6th as well. Once again, an impressive race from the Spanish teenager. In fact, he's got into 5th ahead of Via. Even more impressive race. As Callis just not getting it right. He's trying to push, but as I said, medium front tyre. Should be good in the second half of this race, but not as good as a soft front. As Alonso gets done for track limits. You can see that soft rear as well, getting a bit worn heading on to the 5th lap of the race. And there's 1.6 seconds to gap in front, 2.6 behind. So Alonso lost the second of that mistake in the final sector. Yeah, 53.6 for Callis. He's had a couple of horrendous laps after that, after battling for the lead in the second lap. He can get back into his rhythm. The main aim of the South African on this 5th lap and close that gap to Suzuki then as a consequence. As he's just sitting comfortably behind First Arto. First Arto not getting away in the lead. That's for Houston. Is a bit unsettled over the tabletop turn. The South African. There's still a 3-second gap behind to Alonso. He might have Zabi all over his tail. You never know. That KTM is flying. As first, I also done the fastest out of the race for 51.7 as well last time round. It's like Callis back on that pace now, but it's still a 2-second gap in front. 3.4 behind, almost 3 seconds to First Arto in the lead. He's holding, what, a 7/10 gap on Suzuki then. Right, can he get this final sector right? This is where Callis has been losing quite a lot of time, hasn't he? Oh, and he's lost more. Able to remount quickly, but down to 4th now behind Alonso and Zabi. He's got Via behind. Quickly back into the top 3 on this penultimate lap, but Cal is struggling here. It's not like Mugello where the race just came to him. He's been out the front all race long, but he's just not got into a good rhythm, has he? So he can pull away from Alonso again. It just seems like top 2 got, or top 3 got a pace of their own. And yeah, he's almost a second ahead of the Colombian already. Actually, no, Zabi behind. Zabi's got into 4th, taking advantage of Alonso being shoved back by Caddis, maybe. So he's having the race of his life so far. It's a Spaniard. As I said, he's only, what, 16, isn't he, behind? Absolutely incredible. Alonso in 5th, Via in 6th. Toyota 7th. Ogden winning that battle for 8th now, it looks like. As they approach the final out of this intriguing race. Maybe not the fireworks we expected after the early going. Especially between Caddis and Furusato. It's, oh my god. Once again, bike getting unsettled for Caddis. Oh, Zabi trying to make a move. As Suzuki does the first out day, 51.2. He's really close up the first side, so there will be fireworks in the battle for the win then. What about for the battle for 3rd on this final lap here in Kazakhstan? I think Kaz would just be pleased to leave this place now after this race. Such a sloppy performance. After a pretty decent qualifying in the wet, hasn't had much running in the wet on the Moto3 bike, but he proved it. Definitely ride one in the wet. This gap is 9 seconds in front. It's still Suzuki all over the back of Furusato as well. As Caddis, that strong first sector again, almost a second ahead of Zabi, who's ahead of Ortola now. Ortola's got past Alonso now. CF Moto Machine just dropping back a bit at the end of the race here. Oh my god, Caddis, I don't know where you're going. He's still holding on to 3rd just. Via as well, another machine dropping back late on, down to 7th ahead of Ruda. There's Esteban also getting done for track limits on the other CF Moto machine. He's battling the Dutchman. It's like Asvan has now dropped down to 8th, actually behind Ogden. Dropped down to 9th, maybe? Cracking battle behind. Well, first starter, looks like he's held on from Suzuki. And it's like the Honda Team Asia rider is going to grab another victory here. Moto3 as he's going to grab the final podium, so it's going to be Ortola or Caddis. It's like, guys, he's got the toe on the Spaniards and clings on to 3rd place. So in the end, first starter wins by less than half a tenth of a second ahead of his fellow countryman, with Caddis holding on to 3rd by just a 10th ahead of Ortola, with Zabi having a fantastic race in 5th ahead of Alonso. Raider, Ogden with the best result of the season so far for Scott in 8th, and then we've got Munoz and Via dropping down the order to just 10th on that final lap. Ferrari with his best result of the season as well for Sync 58 in 11th ahead of Matteo. And then we've got Rossi, Watley making it a double points finish for NLav Racing as well. Fantastic job from the Brit ahead of Nepo, who rounds out the point scores. Leopard in 17th and 18th in the end as everyone finished, despite, as you saw, Helgado crashing early on. So in the Riders' Championship, first starter with a 34-point lead over Caddis. Suzuki closes in 3rd and pulls away from Via
gap, 22 points behind the Husqvarnas now. And then you've got Ortola into the top 5 ahead of Alonso. Zabi, who's first of the season, up to 7th in the stands ahead of Algardo. Raider into the top 10 ahead of Nepo as well, with Kelso dropping back. And if you look further down the order, Ferrari up to 16th. Ogden up a couple places to 17th. As well ahead of Fernandez and Angel. And Watt, with his first points of the season, up to 22nd. And then after that in the Teams Championship, it's still like a 51-point lead for Husqvarna ahead of Honda Team Asia. Nothing ever changes at the top in the teams. You've got KTM in third ahead of Snipers. Then Aspar, Bowie Motorsports, MT Helmets, Gas Tech 3 Level Up, CIP Green Power in 10th. And then we've got Sync 15 NLAV up to 11th, 12th with Leopard Racing, the powerhouse from a couple years ago, last in the Teams Championship. Oh, definitely is rising towards becoming a star. Here's Callis. As first Sato mentions after the race, I pushed the utmost and lucky I was able to keep Callis behind me. Well, there's more like Suzuki behind you, but whatever. Now we're going to race at Asa and we should certainly be careful to not underestimate them. I struggled with being behind you, but I tried to regain the points I lost in the next race. Okay, so it didn't go well, but there's no concentration, so I'll prove that to you. Calm down, Callis, alright? Let's be nice to first Sato, they're becoming best buds, are the title rivals of Audi.